further discuss today on certain inquiries and reports which would help you understand different, I mean, help you generate some reports which give some details of sales taxes. So in the inquiries and reports here we have sales tax inquiries where you can see posted sales tax. We have seen it already. Whatever the sales tax that you have posted until, it will list everything and show you accordingly. Here, if you see every sales tax transaction that you posted, you can see, and the direction of tax you can see, tax code you can see, and the amount of taxes calculated also you can see. If you want to filter it by date, you can do that, or by voucher, or by only by the document like free text invoice or sales order or purchase order. Or if you want to filter it by the sales tax direction, you can do that. And sales tax code, you can do that. Or multiple filters also you can apply, just like you apply in the Excel sheet. Okay, then you can see sales tax payments. Sales tax payments where you have already made some payments, right? Yesterday we have done some settlements, original and correction. So that settlements that you have done will show up here in the sales tax payments page. Okay, that's all. Then we have voucher transactions without sales tax. I think this should show you the list of vouchers which are not included with sales tax. There will be a lot of them. It's taking some time to load. So just giving you the voucher inquiry where you can, just like voucher transactions inquiry, it's giving you. There's nothing new in this one. We already have it in the general ledger voucher transactions inquiry. Then we have sales tax reports where you can see sales tax payment by code, sales tax transaction details, sales tax to general ledger reconciliation, sales tax by customer, sales tax by vendor, sales tax to ledger reconciliation. There are a lot of them. Let's see this one, sales tax payment by code, where you can generate a report for a single code, how much sales tax that you have paid using that code or for that code. It's a report read, it takes a while to load initially. From the second report system will run properly. Okay, then we can give a settlement period in which you are looking for GST settlement periods from date 1st of January. How much you have settled, you will see it. You can include a report layout. I think there is no requirement for report layout. You have US report layout already. You can select the same and click on OK. You can run it in the background in the batch job if you want to, or you can run it on the screen. Just click on OK. saying there is no data available. Funny thing. You have settled already the taxes rate yesterday. Sales tax payment by code. Settlement period GST from date. Okay, we have settled it on 31st. See, from date 31st. Let's try to run it now. Still there is no data it is showing. Okay. Sure, what's wrong with this report? But this month only we settled, right? From 1st of January 22 to 31st January 2022. So selected 22. Reporting code. Okay, let's also select this one. There's nothing here in the reporting code. Sales tax code. Something wrong with the report. Generally, it should show you the report of each tax code and then how much amount of sales tax you had paid in that particular period, or from that particular period, how much sales tax that you have payments that you have made. Actually, when I open this one in the sales tax payments, so here we have made some payments, right? So here also we have this report, print report. Let's try to print this one at least and see if it works. When you see this report, so this is by each code. CGST 2.5%, sales tax receivable is 50 and sales tax payable is 950. That's of with each code you have this amount, and deducting the amount from 50 to 950, you will have 900. That has to be paid right on this particular code, CGST 2.5%. That should show in that report actually. Generates by each code. The net amount that has to be paid should be shown in that report. Not showing in that anyway. So okay, we have this report. Other than that, we have sales tax transactions details. Let's see this report. Can give some date from 1st of January to 31st of January. Can run it by a code, or if you don't give a code here, it will give you the details of all the codes. If you want to include reversed, you can also include. Not, you can leave it out and run it on the screen. This report is showing you transactions that are posted using the sales tax receivable account. See this tax code CGST 2%. The date, vendor is Tata Company. 2050 is the amount of total amount of invoice, whereas 2000 is the origin amount, is the tax amount. The offset account that you selected is profit and loss. Showing the list of transactions actually. Of transactions. Review. Where transactions are also being showing up. Where tax amount deducted on the sales tax payable account is also showing for the amount of sales tax transaction. It is just giving you the detail according to each code of each code and direction. CGST 2.5% sales tax receivable, you have one transaction. Coming to CGST 2.5% and the sales tax payable, you have multiple transactions. Just by the net amount 950, you have this one showing up here. Well, it is reversed right at the end. GST, you have paid it to the GST authority. That reverse amount also it is showing here. Total reverse amount showing totally zero. Grand total. It's showing first the original amount of invoice where the amount is calculated as 50. Then you have settled it with the GST authority, right? So that settlement amount also it is showing as minus 50 here. That's what. Then go back on another report. Sales tax general ledger reconciliation. What it is from date 1st of January. Main account, one main account date, the main account. Ledger account. It's not profit. It's sales tax. Would also need to be given. Ledger account. Okay. On this account sales tax payable for the CGST, how much total of it balance is on this code also there is 1200 credit. Total amount is showing up here. 5500, 200, 250 count. Totally it is 1200. So on the main account actually it is saying that the trial balance you have the balances like this, and using this code also you have posted this much of balance only 1200. To this code the sales tax payable is so created with 1200 on the sales tax payable side. So that's what it is showing here. Amount how it is calculated, the total amount posted to the general ledger. Both of them are balanced. I mean they have the same amount calculated on the code as well as posted onto the main account that is linked. Amount was found from ledger journal account. Sales tax amount is calculated labeling the tax transaction charge on purchase price part of the tax base. So just report is just showing the details of calculated amount on the tax code with the sales tax payable main account linked to it, and then how much amount is posted to sales tax payable. Both of them are same actually 1200. So it is showing the voucher numbers for every tax amount that is posted for this code under sales tax payable direction. Then you further have other reports. Sales tax specification by ledger transaction. So it generally gives you the details of transaction plus tax calculated on it. More or less like the earlier report you will have. So starting from the 1st of January, you can select a main account like sales tax payable account. In tax code you can select like this one CGST 5% to date 31st or 30 you can select, where it will exclude the payment transaction. Sales tax payable tax code. Grouping on the basis of ledger account, okay. Okay, totals only, no. Main accounts only, no. Screen, okay. Just showing you the reports, report with the sales tax specification by ledger transaction. So in this, posted on, we have one journal batch number, voucher number, then credit amount of 500 for the sales tax payable account using the code. The origin it is showing 250 minus 250. 7,000 credit amount. See this one voucher. So here you have accounts payable account debited for 10,500, accounts receivable account, sorry, and sales tax payable account credited for 500. This should be a sales order invoice transaction. Oh, sorry, it should be this free text invoice transaction. So 500 is created, so credit of 500 is recorded. Okay, using the sales tax code 2.5%. Okay, within this 500 only CGST is 2.5% only, right? So 250 is considered here. Again, in this particular transaction, there is total deduction of 7,000 for the tax, but for this code 2.5%, there is only 500 tax. So let's see this one. Suppose if I click on this voucher, there is a total tax, sales tax payable amount of 7,000. But if you click on posted sales tax, so for CGST 2.5%, out of that 7,000, only 500 is credited. As you can see it, only 500 is accounted, and that 500 is credited here. So out of the 7,000, only 500 is for CGST 2.5%. That's what is being shown in this report. Out of the 7,000 that is accounted, or the sales tax that is calculated on in that particular voucher, 500 is related to CGST 2.5%. Same way, the amount of tax calculated on the voucher, out of which how much is belonging to CGST 2.5% is showing up here. That's what. And what it is showing here, 640 and origin amount. Let's see this one. Reliance subscription revenue, where you have sales tax payable of 640. Out of this 640, you can see CGST 2.5% is 200. It is valuated. Origin amount is 8,000 and tax amount is 200. Okay, but it's not showing here. 640 it is showing, 200 it is showing this side, not here. Here it is showing normally again 500 and other, sorry, 500 credit, and out of which 250 is deducted as tax. Or let's try to export this into Excel and see how it shows. There's something wrong showing in the report, but only for one line it is showing something wrong here, the sales order line. We export the report into Excel file, it is also showing the same details here. Almost the same. Uh, amount of tax calculated in the voucher and the amount for the tax code, but for this transaction it is showing origin as 8,000, tax payable here on this side as 200. Unsure why. If at all that has to be shown, then the origin amounts should be shown up here, and this 250 should be shown up here, 500 here and another 250 here. Something wrong, but this report is showing the details only. Amount of tax calculated in the journal and which tax amount belonging to CGST 2.5%. That's all. There could be a bug in the report. And What else important reports we have? Yeah, we have this sales tax by customer, sales tax by vendor. You can run this report if you want to. So sales tax by vendor generally gives you the tax amount posted for that particular vendor. You can include one vendor account or you can just run OK. So that without filters we are running this report. Will show you the list of taxes posted for the vendor, particular vendors. I think we have used 2 or 3 vendors, not more than them. So then we have this here. You can see for Tata vendor account 1, Tata company. So for each code, this much of tax is posted. Again for the vendor account 3, vendor 003 Nika products, CGST 6% is posted for this much, SGST 6% is for this much. Vendor number 5, GST authority. So this one is a tax vendor, right? For them, we already settled some amount, so that is also being shown here. So this is something which we can exclude because this is for the tax authority, but for the remaining original vendors, you can see how much tax is calculated for each tax code and how it is being totaled here. It's a detailed report that shows the amount of tax is being calculated for the specific vendor. So you can also run this report for specific vendor by filtering it with the vendor. If you run it only for one vendor, you will only see the details of one vendor here. Again, you can export it anytime as you wish in any format that you want. That's it. The same way you have sales tax by customer also, where you can see the tax calculated according to the customer. Then the most important reports are sales tax transactions and sales tax codes. You go to sales tax transactions, you can include the records of voucher or you can date or according to the tax code, you can filter them or you can run all of them at a time without any filters. So these are all the lot of sales tax transactions that you have posted. So generally you can go to the posted sales tax page, inquiry page, and from there also you can export this. It will give you the same results. Here also it is the same that you can see. Voucher numbers, tax code, and the invoice number and amount of tax calculated. It's all grand total. Then you have this one, sales tax codes. So you just click on this and click on OK. Let's see what this report shows up. So this one is showing just the details of tax codes, nothing else. CGST 2.5%, name net amount of invoice balance. I mean the calculation and calculated on whole amount, percentage of net amount, calculation process, and whatever there is there on the code, the master code of the master sales tax code master details are just copied on here into this report. For every code, the details regarding to that code are just copied here from the master level. That's all. All the codes, whatever you have, the calculation process as well as the logic that you have in the code, everything is copied here onto this one. The rounding rules regarding, and if you have any limits for the code on the values that are taken. See here, you can see value is 9% for the CGST 9%. And we don't have any limits in that value. So if you have any, it will also bring that details into this report. That's all. We have this inquiry posted withholding tax. We have seen it, and withholding tax transactions report will give you the report of withholding tax transactions. Just click on this withholding tax transactions. Click on OK. We only have 2 withholding tax transactions, right? So I think that should show up here. Here it is. We only have 2 withholding tax transactions. So invoice amount to be paid 10,000, 11,200, out of on which is, for one invoice we don't have sales tax, other one we have sales tax of 1,200, and the invoice amount excluding tax is 10,000, 10,000, on which 5% withholding tax of 5% like 500, 500 is calculated. Total of 1,000 amount is being calculated, grand total. That's it. So it's also showing by vendor wise. For the first vendor it is showing. Again, if another vendor have it, so it will show in the another, after this vendor it will show for the second vendor. So this is vendor total, as you can see here. For the second vendor you will have another line, and at the end you will have grand total once again. That's how. This is withholding tax transactions page. Then I think that would be all we have here in the inquiries and reports mostly. And if there are something like in the ledger posting groups, you have certain things which I'll show you. So not in the ledger posting groups, actually in the sales tax settlement periods here. If you click on sales tax settlement periods, so you have settlement periods here, right? Suppose for the 1st of January to 31st of January 2022. Here you can see these details, sales tax per interval. Click on sales tax per interval. It will show you the sales tax posted for the month of January. Only for the month of January, it will show you the transactions. Whatever the sales tax that you have posted sales tax transactions for the month of January, it will show you here. And if you go back, see, actually everything is settled right in this, but the new transaction that we have posted earlier in the previous invoice, 1,200, that 1,200 pending amount only showing here. Remaining we have already settled with the authority yesterday. So that became 0, and only the 1,200 amount that we are posted today is showing as the net amount actually. That settlement voucher also you can find somewhere here only. Both the settlement here only, that for the 31st, right? Here you can see 31st. There are 2 settlements or few settlements for 31st where the tax amounts are reversed, so that you can see them here. Then you can go to settlements per interval. In this interval, how many settlements you have made, you can see it here. So you have made 2 settlements, one original settlement and one correction settlement. The 2 of them you can see here in the period. But if you go for the month of February, let's say suppose, if you go for sales tax per interval, don't see anything because for the month of February you did not posted anything, and you do not see any settlements as well since you did not make any settlements. Okay, in the same way here also you can see posted sales tax. So this is at the top level, means it will not consider one period, it will consider all the periods. So the sales tax posted for all the periods you can see here, not only for the month of January, for every month that you have posted, everything you can see here. If you click on that posted sales tax, you can see sales tax payments. Generally you have 2 sales tax payments until now, regardless of the month. Again, if you have any sales tax payments or settlements, it will show all of them here. So for this 2, I already have some inquiries, here, right? Posted sales tax and sales tax payments, both of them are same, one and the same. But here, regardless of the authority, it will show you. Since we have only one authority, it is showing one posted sales taxes only. If we have multiple tax authorities, it will show all of them here in the posted sales tax. Also in the sales tax payments, it will show all the details of all the authority settlements. But here, authority wise, since you have this settlement period linked to one authority called GST, So authority wise, you can see here sales tax payments and posted sales tax from this page. Okay, then tax code wise, you can see, let's go sales tax codes. The tax codes also, you have this option here. You have certain inquiries. So suppose, let's say this tax code is there, right? CGST 2.5%. You can go to sales tax code. You can see the sales tax group in which this code is included. So included sales tax groups. So only in this particular sales tax group, CGST 5%, that code is included. CGST 2.5% is included in this group, CSGST 5%. Okay. Then suppose you can also see in which item sales tax group this code is included in. Included in item sales tax groups, it is included in only in this group, all group. Okay, suppose if I go to this one, CGST 6%, this code, I go to included item sales tax group, we have two groups for all and as well as CSGST 12% in these two groups, that is there under item sales tax groups. Under sales tax groups, included in sales tax group, we only have one. That's all. Then you can also see the posted sales tax for this particular code. Only for this particular code, you can see posted sales tax. If you click here, will give you the details of tax posted, both the directions, payables as well as receivable for CGST 6%. Only for one code, how much tax you have posted. You can see the details. If you want, you can always export it by using this option into an Excel. These are the few options which would narrow you some details for each code or for each authority, for each ledger settlement period earlier we have seen. That's all. That would be all, guys. We are left over with the discussion of sales tax parameters actually. So they will be in general ledger module. We'll discuss them tomorrow, the sales tax parameters, and then we will also start with the basic introduction of fixed assets and the overview of fixed assets in the dynamics and how the fixed asset module look like and what all the details we have in fixed asset module. We'll see it tomorrow. So actually the general ledger parameters, we have few parameters for sales tax in the general ledger parameters only. For sales tax module, we don't separately have any parameters. We have it, but it will show you the general ledger parameters only at the end. In this we have sales tax, right? So here we have some parameters. So this we will discuss tomorrow for a while, and then we'll start with fixed asset module. Also, if you go to sales tax setup, you have parameters, but these parameters will anyway take you to general ledger parameters, accounts receivable parameters, and accounts payable parameters. There also we have certain one or two parameters for sales tax in both payables and receivables. And in general ledger, we have the main parameters. These are the ones. Okay. We don't have specific parameters for sales tax in the sales tax module. So that would be all for now.